It all began with an old legend I heard from my grandmother when I was a child. She told stories about an abandoned monastery standing on the outskirts of our town. According to her, the monastery was built in the late 17th century and was known for its secrets and mysteries. It was said that strange and frightening events took place there, leading to its closure and eventual abandonment. My grandmother was the last in the family to know these secrets. She often repeated that it all started with an ancient book found in the monastery's basement. This book contained spells and rituals capable of summoning spirits and demons. Those who tried to use it soon disappeared without a trace or went mad. The monks guarding the book called it the Book of Shadows. Since my grandmother shared this story with me, I couldn't get it out of my head. Many years passed, but the mystery of the abandoned monastery continued to fascinate me. I, Andrei, had always been curious and loved unraveling the mysteries of the past. And one day, after another sleepless night, I decided to search for this book and uncover its secrets. I told my best friend Ivan about my plan. At first, he was skeptical about my idea, but soon his curiosity got the better of him, and he agreed to join me. We began gathering information about the monastery, studying old maps and archives. Our search led us to the local library, where we found an old map of the town and its surroundings. The map showed the monastery, which indeed existed in the 17th century, but was closed and abandoned several decades later. We also found records that the monks indeed studied the occult and tried to use magic to achieve their goals. Having gathered all the necessary items, we set off for the monastery. The journey took us several hours. Finally, we arrived at the location. The monastery was half ruined, its walls covered with moss and mold. The entrance doors were locked, but Ivan found a way to get inside through a window. Inside, the monastery had a creepy atmosphere. The walls were decorated with old frescoes depicting scenes from the lives of saints and demons. The floor was covered with a thick layer of dust and debris. We decided to start in the main hall, where, according to the legend, the monks conducted their rituals. We searched every corner but found nothing. Finally, in one corner of the hall, Ivan discovered a hidden door leading to the basement. We cautiously descended the narrow staircase. The basement was dark and damp, with traces of moisture and mold on the walls. Deep in the basement, we stumbled upon a small room where the Book of Shadows was hidden. The book lay on an old stone altar, covered in dust. I carefully picked it up and began to read. The pages were filled with strange symbols and spells. The more I read, the stronger the feeling grew that someone was watching us. Suddenly, the light from our flashlights began to flicker, and the air filled with a strange cold. We heard whispers growing louder and louder. Suddenly, figures resembling monks emerged from the shadows. They began approaching us, whispering in an unknown language. We realized we had awakened something ancient and evil. Ivan grabbed the book, and we ran towards the exit. However, the corridors began to change as if trying to confuse us. We ran without looking back, trying to find our way out. Finally, we managed to escape the basement and leave the monastery. We stood, breathing heavily, and looked at the building, which was once again engulfed in darkness. We swore never to return and never to use the book we found. Returning to the city, we tried to forget what had happened, but memories of the abandoned monastery and its dark secret continued to haunt us. I realized that not everything in this world can be logically explained, and some mysteries are better left unsolved.